excited about our next guest. He is coming from Jacksonville, Florida today, the Vice President of Engineering at Presidio, and I'm talking about Mladen Milanovic. Mladen, please do join us. Mladen Milanovic is the Vice President of Engineering responsible for Presidio's RPA program at a global scale. He has immense experience in customer service as he was running engineering for Presidio's National Center of Practice, working with large size customers. Mladen, it's a real privilege to have you with us on such an important topic on how we deploy, implement intelligent automation in customer service. So thank you for sharing your expertise on behalf of our global community. We're all very much looking forward to your presentation.
Oh, thank you for opportunity. It's going to be a good session, so looking forward for it. So, all right. So let's just get started real quick. We put together a little bit kind of packed agenda, and as Jose pointed, I'm coming from Presidio, so I spent a couple of minutes really introducing you guys with Presidio and what we do. And then we're gonna get into the crux of the presentation or meat of the presentation, and we're gonna talk about what is the customer service today and really how RPA can respond on those customer service trends that we are seeing across the different customer base today. We'll talk about a couple of different use cases, a couple of examples. We're going to give you a couple of examples, as well as for technical audience that is listening this presentation. We're going to just give you high level view of RPA platform architecture and how that RPA platform can interact with the contact center and how really can help independent of different customer care or contact center solutions, right? So Presidio is a global IT system integrator with a revenue of $3 billion. The one thing that is very important for us is the client relationship. So our 50 top clients have a tenure of over 10 years with us. So definitely our 97% of clients are making a repeated purchases. Over time, in the last 20 years, we built one of the largest contact center practices in the world. And in the last 20 years, we have probably over 1,000 contact center customers, and we deploy over 500,000 of contact center agents across the world, mostly in the United States, but we did a significant amount of work outside of United States as well. Interesting thing that's something that differentiates our approach is really a understanding and focusing on business outcomes. We believe that technology is transient, and definitely different technology solutions are coming and go, but what stays there, it's a customer need and desire to implement a solution that meets their client needs. So definitely what we are focused on piecemealing or creating a technology solution that is going to meet and fulfill that business outcome. So when I was preparing this presentation, I took a couple of recent statistics, and on the left-hand side of the screen, pick up a couple of interesting numbers that Zendesk recently reported from surveying more than 90,000 customers or companies across the 175 countries. So what we are seeing is that 2020, as we all know, and that becomes a fact, 2020 was really something that changed the way how customers are interacting with the brands. And there is a 33% of the customers during 2020 that used the alternative channel for the first time. And majority of those alternative channels were in fact a messaging channel. The next question, and this is something that we usually get a lot when we are talking with our clients, like, well, we know that during the 2020, our customers start reaching us out more towards messaging channels or alternative channels, but are they going to continue? And the answer is yes. 74% of those customers answer yes, and they are going to continue using messaging to interact with brands. Additionally, we noticed that 81% of interactions were over chatbots. And that's a very important point because that's something that is driving the automation and interaction with and contextual integration and interaction with the chatbots is something that is really driving the engagement and driving that need for self-service. On the right-hand side of the screen, there are some numbers about the RPA. So robotic process automation is a hot topic today. And according to Market Watch, the CAGR until 2024 is around 20%. So definitely the need for robotic process automation and the desire for the customers that are looking the ways how they can deploy robotic process automation is significantly growing. Deloitte recently published a very interesting survey where they did surveyed 523 executives in different range of industries across the 26 countries. And they find out in those responses that expectation from those executives is that RPA will increase their workforce capacity by 27%. So basically, executives today are looking at the RPA as a tool that is going to help two ways. Increase the ability to handle the volume of different transactions, as well as increase the productivity of their existing workforce. Additionally, the organizations that are combining RPA and AI is growing significantly. Out of all those companies that are implementing the automation at scale, which is 51 or more automations, 47% of them are already implementing something that we call intelligent automation. So let's look a little bit in a customer service trend. So the fact is that over the last 20 years, we built a successful contact center business unit, and we did deploy lots of different contact centers for the customers. Currently, the customer service industry is under major disruption as new technology companies are creating a new ways to communicate and to engage with the clients. So when you look our traditional clients, they are not competing anymore with the peer groups. If we are talking about the hospital, or if we are looking at a financial organization like a bank or insurance company, from a customer experience perspective or customer care perspective, they're not competing with another insurance company, with another hospital system or a bank. They're competing with Uber or Amazon because their clients expect the same level of interaction that they are receiving from a technology company, that they're receiving from Uber or for Amazon or from any other disruptors that we are seeing today on the market. So when we are talking with our different clients, we were able to identify several major customer services trends that are really impacting our industry today. The first one is intelligent self-service. If you guys look at the numbers, and especially the ones that were on the left-hand side that talk about our interactions with the chatbot, chatbot is one of the ways of delivering that self-service channel, if you would. So there is a huge pressure from a client that they want to take care of their problem by themselves. So most of the customers are hearing from their clients that clients are trying to do as many transactions as they can via self-service without really getting interaction with a human. They want to be able to complete simple tasks, more complex tasks, but as their ability and adoption of the self-service channel is increasing, they want to have that comfort on a more complex transactions, and that's the reason why we feel that the self-service channel is just going to continue to grow. So another thing is agnostic customer service. So we saw that the volume of messaging jumped significantly, but when we are talking messaging, we are talking about different messaging channels. And then we are talking about email channel. We are talking about voice channel. So what we are seeing as a trend is that clients, they want to interact with the brand or the channel of their choice at any time, and they don't want to be forced to change a channel. So what that means is if the client interacts with the brand via brand's web page, and there is some transaction that cannot be completed, or there is some question that customer need to do, the customer has, he or she wants to engage with a bot or with a human, leveraging the online chat, and if that's not available, then we need to do the switching channel, and then we have to take our cell phones or phone calls. So this is something that we definitely, the customers definitely do not appreciate at the switching channels. So additionally, when we are talking about a rapid and flexible feature deployment, there is that pressure from the client, is coming from the clients to add new features and new functionalities. And today, it is really difficult for traditional commercial customers to have a large squad of developers to be able to deploy those features. So that's where we feel that rapid and flexible ability to rapidly and flexibly deploy new features, develop those features, pilot the features, and test features is very important in a customer care today. From the contextual and personalized customer service, that's a buzzword that became true, especially during the 2019 and 2020. And the goal is really to what customers want is the ability to understand what their clients do, how their clients engage with the brands, and how those clients are served and how they would like to be served. So those kind of first half of the trends are really something that is putting the pressure on technology. Another trend, and that's like work from anywhere and gig work, and engage and empower staff and increase the agent efficiencies, are hitting directly into the overall workforce transformation motion, and talks about the ways how we can empower employees and focus them and enable them to be more efficient during the customer interactions. And instead of thinking how they are going to use technology solution to solve the customer problem, they need to be focused on the customers. So we, on our side, as a technologist and as a people that are building or bringing those technology solutions to our clients, we need to ensure that agent population is able to effectively and efficiently use those applications, and being focused not on the technology, not on the application, but on the client. So when we talk with our clients, we are seeing that lots of clients internally and consultants are trying to really throw different solutions in order to understand, or in order to address those customer service trends. So we are seeing proliferation of the API infrastructure, especially on the REST side. Customers are investing in both UCaaS and CCaaS solutions to empower that remote workforce. There is a lot of buying and acquisitions or customization on a CRM side, building a knowledge and insight product, and building and creating voice and chatbots that have a natural language understanding and ability to communicate with the clients using the NLUs. But when we look all of those efforts, we feel that those efforts are very siloed and they are just addressing one or couple of the challenges or trends that we are seeing today. And what we are seeing is that lever is not balanced, right? So they are not making a difference in the world. So Presidio came out with a workforce transformation framework where we combine this, we kind of unify the different approaches around that workforce transformation framework. And the center of that workforce transformation framework is robotic process automation. So let's just kind of briefly look when we are talking about RPA, what we are expecting from the robotic process automation platform, and how that robotic process automation platform can really respond on customer service challenges. When we double click and unpack the robotic process automation, we expect that that RPA platform has a low code or no code development environment, has ability to bring into the automation loop a practical AI. We do not expect Skynet. We do not expect robots that are going to completely remove human and human decision-making process, but we do expect a platform that are going to be able to bring into the automation workflow, machine learning, natural language understanding, computer vision, document understanding, and such. And at the same time, there is that notion around the human in the loop, because again, we do understand that those algorithms around the practical AI have certain limitations. So we want to be able to leverage majority of the automation potential, and then without decreasing automation potential, loop the human and that human intelligence into the decision-making process where it needs to be, and then human can make that decision and then again hand over the automation back to the robot, and robot can wrap up the process. So the goal really is that we want to have the flexible automation platform that is going to be able to really have continuous automation journey with potentially looping in the human and leveraging what humans are best, and humans are best in making those decisions, right? Again, unattended and attended automations are must, because especially in a customer care or in customer service, attended automation has its own place, because then we can see a really good cooperation or collaboration between the robot that is going to do those structured mundane tasks and the human that is going to provide input or additional activities for attended robot to perform. If we look a little bit deeper and kind of double click on each of those components and see how every component is addressing those customer service trends, this slide is trying to really summarize it. And again, we touch on a low code or no code development environment. They're extremely important, because finding skilled labor or skilled developers are going to be able to enable brand to add new features is very difficult and very challenging. So in order to empower businesses to make new features, make new releases, and make those good workflows, we need the environment in which they are going to be able to build this very quickly and deploy very quickly. We already touched on a practical AI. We already touched on the human in a loop and attended automation as well. But definitely working together, especially from a practical AI perspective and human in a loop, can really create a plethora of different use cases that we can expand and provide through the self-service channel for our end customers. And from that perspective, really increase significantly efficiency and increase the customer experience with the interaction with that specific brand. As I said at the beginning of the presentation, there is a brief diagram for more technical team members to kind of look how that robotic process automation can interact with the different components in the contact center. And so what we are seeing is, let's just kind of start from the bottom of the slide, is have unattended automation that we usually use for those back-end processes, and where that unattended automation from a customer service perspective have a huge impact is in fact in a self-service. So what we can do is we can leverage the ability of RPA platform to integrate with the external chatbot, voice bot, email, phone platforms, or communication platforms, and trigger those processes and basically have a robot execute and interact with the third-party application in order to fulfill the requirement or request that was pushed by a client that is interacting with the brand. On the opposite side, there are attended automation. And as I mentioned before, attended automation has that power to really empower contact center agent to be more focused on a customer, right? Because attended automation can scroll through the multiple pages or screens in the application to get the information in front of the center agent eyes, or it can faster do a screen pop, or it can facilitate faster and more accurate completion of specific task, if that's a closing an account or something like that. So definitely the selected the platform, and we do lots of business with the UiPath. We have ability to leverage the CTI integration in the contact center and IVRs and chat and voice bots and attended and unattended automation in order to really accomplish that goal. At the same time, attended automation and attended robots that are living and working together with the contact center agents, they can and they should interact with the third-party applications in order to complete the task. And one of these is closing the account, opening the account, taking waiving the some kind of late fee or something like that. So there are so many different use cases. And speaking of use cases, this is one of the use case. This is one of slide that we were trying to summarize different use cases that we are seeing and we are addressing with RPA. So the first one is a self-service, and that's kind of given. And from the self-service perspective, again, majority of the traditional self-service approach is like, hey, where is the API for integration? We all know that that's a first step. We definitely want to leverage API infrastructure if it's available. However, there are situations where, as I pointed out, APIs are not available, or APIs are very expensive to get. So in that situation, robotic process automation platform can really help us on a back end, leverage maybe UI or leverage some of those native integration where RPA platform already has in place in order to complete self-service. Additionally, through the different, let's say, document understanding, leveraging the AI models, robotic process automation gives us opportunity to really unreach self-service experience for our customers and provide us that we can expose more features or more functionalities through the self-service channel as well. From the agent efficiency perspective, multiple applications, and this is not something that this is unique for one type of client or another. Across of different industry verticals, we are seeing contact center agents swiveling between application 1, CRM 2, the internal app, in order to provide a consistent view of the customer, or to provide to collect information in order to communicate with the client. That's where we feel that attended automation has a ability to excel, because all those swiveling from one app to another, from one document to another, is something that robot can do efficiently and much quicker than human can do. Human can focus on interacting with the client, while robot on the background is collecting information or collecting the specific information about the previous transactions or previous interaction, and presenting that in front of the contact center agent. We don't want to forget another technology stack in a contact center, which is the center operations. So there is so many different stakeholders within the contact center business that can benefit from the automation, from the traditional onboarding and offboarding, and kind of keeping up with the volume of all those tickets. If contact center is experiencing the hiring or attrition in a contact center is very high. So that's where we're seeing that RPA is really benefiting customer service as well. Same story around the complex applications, and the kind of complex applications and agent guidance go hand in hand. So when we have a highly structured process, and when we want to have a contact center agent train faster, we want to give them those call outs or kind of guide the agent through how to complete the transaction, how to interact with the customer. The best example for that is the contact center claims. So we see that there is a high propensity of automation and in a customer service, in a intake, from an insurance claim intake perspective, where we can create a call outs, we can create the next best action based on the set of the selected features or a customer record and such. And lastly, upselling and cross-selling. It's something that we are seeing in the contact centers that are more sales oriented. So in that situation, we can have, again, contact center agent will talk to the client, but in the background, attendant robot will pull the information across the different accounts or previous purchases, and based on that, leveraging machine learning algorithm that is developed in-house and uploaded in an RPA platform, the contact center agent is going to get information. What are those products or services that customer might be interested in, and then he or she can pitch that to the customer that's already on a phone or on a chat or whatnot. And let's not forget, again, my favorite thing is testing. You cannot have a successful implementation of the contact center or implementation of any of the new features unless you have everything is tested and everything is operating as is. And especially when we are now talking about comprehensive testing across the multiple channels, you have two options. Option number one, having the people do that and go through each one of those call flows across the chat, emails, and messaging, or you can leverage RPA platform to do automated self-service testing, application testing, and do that testing across each channel by and making sure that all those test cases are passed. And we have something that we call proactive contact center testing, which is every morning. There is always some contact center admin that is going to call a number and kind of try to get to the agents to confirm that everything is working. That's something that we can proactively work with the robotic process automation platform. Very briefly, this is some of the examples in a contact center. So agent, in order to we kind of already touch on those, where agent needs to kind of deal with 6 or more applications and do at least 2 or 3 logins per workday. So we were able to really build some robots that will help agent out. And in general, we save 8 minutes per agent per day per agent on that specific use case. I'm not going to go through all those kind of examples are pretty self-explanatory, and I believe that each of the customer service leaders can find a case or use case or challenge that they are dealing with that probably robotic process automation or intelligent robotic process automation platform can address and provide a positive value. So let's wrap up real quick. So key takeaways perspective, RPA is here. I know that there are some articles where RPA is that are saying that robotic process automation is kind of falling down the hype and everything, but the process automation is there. And when we are talking today about RPA, we are seeing is that lots of companies and early adopters are now in a phase of scaling the automation program up. But what is very interesting is that today robotic process automation, strictly speaking, robots doing the transaction in and out, is not a thing anymore. Where we are seeing impact on all major KPIs is really intelligent automation. So again, it's not a hype. We already have a data science scientists build machine learning models that are proven in the practice. We are just combining proven RPA technology that and proven data science and algorithms that we have, and creating the automations that now can do more and provide more value to a client. Omnichannel is there. It's increasing, and omnichannel interactions are here to stay. There was a research at McKinsey where contact center executives expect that contact center calls are going to drop. I do not believe that they're going to fully drop. Their complexity are going to increase, because if customer is not able to solve their problem through a self-service channel or through the chat or email, they are going to call, and those customers are going to be upset. So contact center agents need to be on a top of their best game. So again, it's very important. So omnichannel is there, and we need to find a way how we are going to make our contact center agent efficient, because they need to be focused on a customer experience. Hyper automation platform can have significant impact on entire customer service value chain, because now we can harness all that data that we have in a different CRMs, in a different customer journey platforms, in different reports, because now we can do a couple of things. We can build the models and deliver decisions based on the data that we have, and based on my personal experience and Presidius experience, there's a lot of data stored in all those contact centers over the years. We also can deploy more features through the self-service channels, document understanding. We can leverage a natural language understanding. We can do computer vision, and basically empower organization to provide those additional features and decrease impact of the really low value calls or low value interactions to the agents, and have agents when really we need to have that. So anyway, hyper-automation platform can positively impact agent productivity and overall customer experience by really doing this. Efficient agent is more focused on a customer and on a customer need, less stress, and he or she will be able to provide really a good customer service. So I want to thank you for being with us today. It was really a pleasure talking to you. And Jose, I think that we can kind of kick off the Q&A session.
Terrific, Mladen. What a great journey and review of intelligent automation and customer service. Very good insights. Thank you for sharing that openly and being very methodical in the way you shared that, which is very helpful in understanding the challenges and the opportunities. I will start with there are several questions from the audience. I'll get into specific ones. This is a general question. Since you have been on this side of customer service and intelligent automation for some time, have you done studies yourself or other third-party studies on customer satisfaction related to bots and what that's looking like? Because I'm gonna say a very biased opinion that I have, because every time I interact with a bot, it's not a very good experience most of the times, because it sends me to information that's not really related to what I'm looking for, or God, sends me like to the terms and conditions document of a certain contract of some sort. And I know there has been a lot of development in this area. Two-part question. One is that what is the evolution on the quality of these interactions, and what do organizations can do behind the scenes in creating these bots to make them more useful?
This is an excellent question, and thank you for asking, because again, it's a journey. So when we started 2007 deploying like natural language understanding IVRs, we did thought that's going to be the killer application for customer service. I think that we all, both practitioners and consultants, try to bite off more than we could have with the technology that we have in hand with the chatbot. And what we are seeing with organizations that didn't do the right thing is a decrease in the customer satisfaction when we wanted to put a more complex transactions over to a chatbot. What is our recommendation for all clients that are starting the chatbot journey or voice bot journey is really start smart. I don't want to even say small, but start smart, where you are going to hand off the more structured, much easier interactions to a bot. Now, if customer is not able to solve or self-serve itself with a bot, you need to provide a handoff to a human. But most important thing is it needs to be a contextual handoff. So what that means is we are seeing lots of clients across the different industries are deploying a siloed chatbot frameworks without communication or connection to a rest of the customer service systems or contact center. So when that contact center agent receives your chat, he or she doesn't know what did you try with the bot. And that's the reason for frustration, because now I need to go all over. It's the same thing, Jose, when you are calling your bank and they ask you to enter your account number, social security number, and date of birth, right? And then you get on a call with the person and she asks you to verify your identity. So this is the same thing. You get frustrated, even though that person, that's their SOP, right? But that's what we are seeing as a main problem. And when we are talking with our clients, is really crawl, walk, run, identify low-hanging fruit, push that, measure the effect, measure the engagement, measure customer satisfaction, move on, but always ensure that you have a reliable contextual handoff to a human.
That's a very good example. I think banks, healthcare is also another
Yeah.
notorious industry that you have to say the same thing 3 or 4 times. And as a follow-up to that, I'm curious on your experience on development of the technology and the implementations in the industry. Are there mechanisms for tracking the quality of interactions with bots? I mean, do companies have a way of saying that, yeah, you know what, this was really bad? I mean, and or it was really good. But is there a way of tracking what's
Yeah.
going on in those interactions?
Yeah. Yes, and there is technology did provide a way that we can track the efficiencies of the bots, both on RPA side and both on the traditional chatbot side, on the natural language understanding. And those tools are nothing new. You know, the big thing for natural language understanding technology is here since late 80s. It was just very expensive to deploy in a commercial purposes. So the tools are there. The problem is, again, it's how the brand approaches to the initiative of automation, both on a bot side and both on a chatbot side or natural language understanding bot. So we do have we always recommend with creating those personas, understanding your customer, and then based on the experience, we create those dialogues and create those engagement ways, how we engage, how we expect that the customer is going to engage with the bot. I have a personal experience when we were working with a big utility company utility company where we did a natural language voice understanding platform, where we had a user group and we literally ran all those interactions with the people and getting their feedback. That type of engagement is something that you cannot get always. But what you can do though is based on the experience, you can create initial dialogues and then use the tools to see if there are any other utterances, both spoken or written, that customers are asking, because there's different people will ask for the same thing differently, and then do fine tuning. But that's that continuous improvement process that is very important in any automation journey in general, both on a chat, voice, and natural understanding, and the robotic process automation, especially intelligent process automation, because the modern platform like UiPath has those feedback loops where you can get your models retrained when you are ready to make it better for document understanding, data extractions, and such.
Excellent. There's a comment here that I should share with you because I think reflects the opinion of a lot in the audience. The way that you provided, your vision on how RPA and customer service should be implemented was very elegant, and I think that as consumers, we support the vision that you share with us. But there's a perception that the way that most organizations are actually implementing it is different from the way you propose here in your vision. I'm curious about why there is such a disconnect. What are the challenges? Because I know that you're coming into those organizations and advising them to do the right thing, and then it seems like they're ignoring a lot of your advice and doing some other things. What is the dynamic that happens that organizations end up, they think they know better, but they really don't? And so how do you overcome that in your clients?
Listen, it's always a conversation. There is on one side you have there's a budget constraints, there is a different opinions, there is a predefined technology constraints that you cannot really overcome. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna have a very good customers. They take us as a trusted providers and trusted consultants, I would say. So majority of our clients really take a recommendation. My advice is for end clients, end users, do your research. Even though making a chatbot or doing the robotic process automation is simple, it's something that you can do in-house. There is a reason for hiring and talking to a consultant because of that journey that we just talked about and those kind of tribal knowledge that we have across the different industries. And from the users like yourself, those horror stories that we can avoid by good implementation.
Mladen, we are out of time, but I want to point out that we could go on talking about this for a long time because you're very down to earth, you have a strategic view of the opportunities here, but very tactical also in the way that you approach it. And you do not sell technology; you're selling solutions. And I think that your approach and the way that you weave it together is very effective and certainly very compelling. So thank you for doing such a great job in articulating your vision and the implementation of what greatness should look like in customer service when it comes to intelligent automation. Thank you so much for taking the time to sharing your expertise and your insights.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Milanovic. I can say that. My Serbian is not that good, I guess. And sharing his wisdom and expertise on RPA and intelligent automation targeted at customer service. Wonderful journey, really. I ask you to go back and rewatch this presentation and pay attention to the flow. There is a lot of great insights there on how intelligent automation should be done correctly in customer services. Well, let's take a look at what awaits for us in tomorrow's sessions. We're wrapping up today, and tomorrow is our final day. I want to remind you of a few things that you will receive the recordings of all these presentations in the next couple of weeks. I think most of you know that at this point. Also, remember that you can interact with our speakers and you can ask additional questions, commentary on LinkedIn under my name, Jose Perez. There's a posting on this conference, and you can see many of the speakers and the participants' comments already in there, so you can feel free to engage in that. We also want to remind you that the next conference that we are going to be leading globally will be the Enterprise Architecture Live Conference. It will be done on this similar channel, but you have to register separately for that. That will be on July 13th through July 15th. And there is a more technical aspect of that. It's focused on enterprise architecture. But as usual, we'll bring speakers who discuss the technical aspects and also the organizational governance, cultural aspects of technology implementation, because you cannot do one well without the other. Now, as I look at our final day together tomorrow, we have 4 outstanding presentations from industry leaders. We're going to kick it off with the president for the Institute for Robotics Process Automation and Artificial Intelligence, and he's going to be giving his perspectives on the state of the industry. That's going to be followed up by a leader at Tech Mahindra, who is going to be focusing on conversational artificial intelligence. What are the trends? What are the solutions? What are the best practices that we are seeing in the marketplace today? And then the final 2 sessions will be by industry leaders, global industry leaders who are implementing RPA at scale. We're first gonna have the enterprise architecture leader from Mondelez International. Aura Bachadachadi is going to be sharing with us the RPA roadmap from an enterprise architecture perspective. It's a good segue for the future conference we're going to have that's going to be a deep dive in enterprise architecture. Again, Aura leads the enterprise architecture for Mondelez International, a major food company. Now we will wrap up with a major application in finance. And we're going to be talking to the Director of Quality and Transformation at Morningstar Financial Services. And Morningstar Financial Services has been in an incredible transformation that includes the implementation of RPA at scale. So Marco Chimura is going to share with us the control of his robots, the designing and effective RPA governance program specifically. So you do not want to miss the sessions. and you do not want to miss Marco Chamorro's session if you're serious about real governance, effective governance, and implementation at scale in a large organization. So without further ado, let me send you away for the rest of your day. Let me thank you for participating and engaging. The questions have been fantastic. The interaction is high class, as usually is expected from you. Very qualified audience, and it's a real privilege to be here with you. Whatever you are in the world, have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for the final 4 sessions. Thank you very much. Have a great day.